Hey guys, what's up? It is Gamma Mickey, and I'm here for some great tips for your next Disney World vacation. Stay tuned. All right, so I am in a hotel room. As you can see, I have been up in Kansas City. My mom had to go to a hospital for some heart procedure stuff. She's good. So thank you for any thoughts or prayers on that. She is actually doing really good, to the point where I am getting ready and packing up to get ready to take her home. If you are new to my YouTube channel, my name is Gamma Mickey. I have a family that loves to go on Disney World vacations, and I am literally 13 days away from my first solo trip. 13 days. I can't believe I am leaving for Disney in less than 2 weeks now. That's crazy. Okay, anyway, let's go on. So I have been, prepping for a solo trip. It's a lot different than for families, but I've been asked a lot of questions on how do you budget for a family and saving some money on your next Disney vacation? Because we go on our Disney family vacations and we never really do a whole savings thing. We just kind of just go bougie and go big. So I've been really thinking on this, and one of the things that I remembered I did years ago when my kids were younger is we couldn't afford to go super big on merch and stuff like that. So today I'm going to give you 2 tips that I have used that really saved me a lot of money, and I still use some of the tips to this day to keep me on a budget. And it does add a little extra magic to your vacation that I think I wish I would have added. I think I'm going to try it again on our next family vacation, just because my kids loved it and they had no clue. And I think Aubrey would love it. So here's tip number 1. You want to keep yourself on a merchandise budget, especially the kids. So this is what I did with Aubrey on our last vacation that I had her go with me. So I had her do chores around the house months leading up to our vacation, and she had a jar that she collected all of her money in. We're doing that again. So she would do earning her keep, so to speak, of being able to purchase her own merch. And then what we did is, before we left, we went and took all that cash and we went and got her Disney gift cards. Now, these I highly, highly, highly recommend for anybody who is going on a Disney vacation, even solo trips. That's why I have mine. This will keep you on a budget. Put a certain amount on your Disney gift cards for even snacks in the parks, and for even meals. Find out how much it is for the meals ahead of time, and have a Disney gift card for each meal, so that you have it already pre-planned, kind of like a prepaid dining plan, so to speak, but you're using it with your Disney gift cards. That way you don't go over budget, because that happens a lot where we can go over budget. But for kids and the merching idea, this is key, and it really does help. Now, you want to make sure that at least your children save up at least $100. She had earned herself, over several months of doing chores, $255. So she had $255 that she could put on a Disney gift card, and bought herself merch the whole time she was there. It was awesome, because then we didn't have to buy constantly every time we went off rides and stuff, and there would be merch there in the ride areas. She would go in there and she'd be like, do I really want to buy this and this and this, because then I can't buy something later. So it helped keep her on kind of a little rope, so to speak, to where they don't think it's unlimited funds. So that's tip number 1. get the gift cards and have your kids earn their money to put on their gift cards. That way they will keep themselves on a really tight budget as well. And it just makes it more special and more meaningful because they earned it. So that's tip number 1. Here's another tip that you can do ahead of time. So I found this Disney Mickey Mouse. So totally cute. This was found at a dance competition in their merch area. Okay, and he's unique, right? He's not what you would see at the parks, and he's not what you would see typically in the stores. So if you can find merch that's unique and different, you can go ahead and pre-buy this, hide it in one of your bags, and then when you get to your vacation, here is an idea that I used, that I did, that actually worked really, really well. So when the kids, my kids, were really little, this is when Madeline and Courtney were like wee little, and Billy. Me and my husband went ahead, and I had purchased some Disney merch ahead of time, and I also purchased some stuff to decorate our room with. So my husband had taken the kids down to the pool ahead of time, and I went in the room and I totally decorated the room, and I set up a bunch of Disney merch, and then I had a note that was there from Mickey Mouse to the kids. And I even decorated the door and the window of our hotel room. And we were staying at Port Orleans Riverside at the time. And I think we were in the Bayou Bay area or whatever. So anyway, I had done all that. Then I went down to the pool. A whole hour or two later, we come up to the room, and of course the kids come walking up, and they're like, oh my gosh, what is on the door? And we went in. They were so excited that they didn't even ask for merch, because they just took their stuffed animals that I had gotten them, and some candy and stuff like that I had already pre-bought, and they were totally satisfied. They put it in their bag, they took it to the park, and they didn't ask for a toy, and they didn't ask for candy. So that saved us a lot of money. That's tip number 2. A final tip, tip number 3, you could do the same concept, hide your Disney merch in your bag, go into the parks, and then go over to a cast member and say, hey, while you're sitting in line, or say you're standing and waiting for a parade, right? So you're already parked. You tell your kids, I'm gonna run over here and go get us some drinks. Mind you, you stop over to a cast member and you say, hey, would you mind handing this over to my kids and tell them that Mickey Mouse sent it to them? I have seen people do this before. I have not done this, but I think they wouldn't mind. But you can always ask. If they mind, then I wouldn't ask the cast member to do it, because it's not in their job description to do it, but that might be something fun that they'd be willing to do. If they don't want to do it, the other option is to come back from getting whatever you said you got, like drinks or whatever, go up to a cast member that's at a cash register and ask them for a bag. They may, it may cost you like, I don't know, like 10 cents, 15 cents, maybe $1 to buy a Disney bag that looks like you bought it there in the park. Put your merch out of your bag into the Disney bag that you got from the cash register. And then walk up and go, look at what I bought you. Hand it to them. And they pull it out of a Disney bag and they're like, oh my God, I got this in the park. And it didn't cost you the park fees. So, that's another trickery on what to do with your kids. Now, a lot of you are probably like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't trick your kids. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, all right? When you're trying to save money to go to the parks. So I hope those 3 tips helped you in ways on how to save some money with your kids when you go to the parks and with dealing with merch. I will see you in my next video as I get closer and closer to my vacation. Okay, guys. Bye.